Hi everyone, and welcome to my first episode of Draw With Me, where this time we're going over the extreme basics which every artist should know, which I currently don't, and that's control of your hand when you're drawing. So we're just going to be going through a couple of exercises that you have to perform again and again and again, and then eventually once you perfect them, you should be able to draw anything based on these skills. It's going to be a bit boring for the first episode, but we're going to do some real basics, and that's just repeated drawing of certain basic shapes and lines and circles. So I've got a lot of basic pencils here. I'm not that experienced, so I'm just going to use really basic HB pencil, middle grade I think, so it's between quite harsh and quite soft. Use whatever you like. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so hopefully throughout the next coming episodes I'll know which ones to use and which ones not to use for particular tasks. And our first shape is going to be just simple dots. Now, as I'm drawing these, I'm realizing they're not all consistent, and I don't have very good control on my pencil, but again, this is something we're going to improve on and learn together. So once we've done that a bunch of times, we can move on to the next shape. So for the next shape, normally I draw these quite quickly, so it doesn't really matter, but I think in order to learn more control, it should be drawn a bit slower, and what we're going to do is just lines. So vertical, horizontal and diagonal lines, just a bit of control. That's not very straight or horizontal. There's that. And as you do more, you'll get a bit more comfortable. And these are going to become particularly important when it comes to different kinds of shading, like hatching and cross hatching. Experiment with different grips of the pencil, I guess. That one didn't really work out so well for me, but if you don't practice with this, what will end up happening is you'll get later on into your drawing experience and you'll have to do these again and again for a single piece of art, and you could make a mistake and it might discourage you from finishing it. So if we practice the basics now, hopefully that will stop it from happening. Just use this really simple exercise to just improve yourself as an artist. I feel myself improving already, although this didn't go so well. I imagine it matters how sharp your pencil is as well. Mine's quite dull, so that happens quite often. It's possible that I'm not holding the pencil correctly, because I'm used to just writing instead of drawing. Clearly I need a lot more practice for this, but it's something I'll do in my future. Since it's quite boring, I won't be doing that on camera, I'll just be doing that in my free time, and hopefully you'll notice the improvements as we draw together. Next is probably one of the hardest parts that I struggle with the most, and that's drawing circles. I'm not sure. I guess you're supposed to be able to draw it in one motion. Clearly I can't. Typically when I draw it, I would just do something like this when I just have one hand movement and rotate the page instead. But sometimes you're not going to be able to work on a surface that you can rotate. So it's important we learn how to do it in one swift motion. Yeah, that didn't really work out too well, but this is what practice is for. So maybe doing it slower is better for circles. And I imagine this is a bit down to developing your muscle memory as well, because hands have so many muscles in that maybe the ones that are needed for drawing circles just aren't as developed as your other ones, so you're going to get thrown off a bit. But as with everything else, practice will make perfect. And I'm feeling a bit more confident with circles already. It's not as bad as I thought, but I imagine the bigger they get, the more difficult they are to draw perfectly. Okay, so next is triangles. Obviously there's a lot of different types of triangles, but try and draw some equilateral triangles. Okay, so the single line seems to be a bit more difficult for me, but yeah, it's not so bad. And again, a very important skill to have. And thank you for being patient with me. I'm not really used to speaking on camera yet. I'm not comfortable with my own voice, but I'm hoping that the more I do this, the more comfortable I'll get and I won't sound as awkward or nervous. Just another thing to practice on, and that's why I'm doing this series, so I can get more comfortable doing it. And you can clearly see that I'm not an expert, so you feel better about learning with me. A lot of you are probably better than me already, and if that is the case, please let me know some tips and I can maybe take that upon myself and build that community factor in this channel and just learn from each other, because really that's what art's all about. Okay, so the next shape is, you probably guessed it, squares. Much like the triangle, it's probably going to be easier. I say that. If you draw it line by line, maybe you try different orders of which side you're drawing first. And also one single line. The way I'm used to drawing is just kind of sketching like this. And I remember one time in maths class, everyone had to draw kind of line graphs for their homework. So it would be something like that. And I lost marks on one of my pieces of homework because when I drew it, I just kind of sketched it like that. And apparently that wasn't good enough because it had to be a single line, and it wasn't art class, it was maths class, so I kind of regret it, but at the same time it's something to talk about, so maybe not. Okay, the next two are a bit different. So we're going to do a star and a spiral. So just a very easy 5-point star. This isn't so much to practice drawing this shape, but just to get the technique of controlling your pen or pencil. And again, I clearly have a lot of work to do, but I'm glad I'm doing this kind of in front of the camera for the first time, because it's highlighting to me that without much prep time, I'm not even as good as I thought I was, but I know where I need to improve. So I'm just going to be doing this a lot on my notebook when I'm watching TV, just chilling, and you should be able to just get better passively without even noticing, because a spiral, I think, depending on if you go from the outside or the inside, might be quite difficult, as the spacing between the line has to be the same distance as you expand it. That's not bad. It's better than I thought it would go. But I anticipate this being a bit harder. Okay, that wasn't as good, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So thank you for joining me on my first little episode about the absolute bare essential basic fundamentals of art. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'm still trying this out. Not very good with just speaking without a script. It's a bit awkward, I know, but I'm going to get better. But let me know how I can improve, if this is useful at all. And yeah, thank you for watching my first episode of Draw With Me. Hope that you get to draw with me a bit, practice yourself, and experience the joy that is art. It relaxes me, and yeah, it's a nice pastime. Enjoy, draw with me, and have a good day.